The year is 1989, and Flynn, the CEO of Encom, is telling his son all about his adventures in a completely digital world known as the Grid. When he was younger, Flynn created the Grid and spent some time on it, because he thought it was a beautiful world there. He met a brave warrior called Tron who showed him amazing things like disc battles and fast cycles. However, Flynn had responsibilities in the real world, so he created a duplicate of himself, called Clue. To manage things in the Grid working together, Flynn, Clue, and Tron created a system where all information, including the system itself, was free. Eventually they also found a miracle in the Grid, but Flynn refuses to tell his son what it is, and promises to finish the story. Another day sometime later, news outlets announced the mysterious disappearance of Flynn. The Encom board members say that since he lost his wife, Flynn's behavior had been erratic, but they aren't exactly trustworthy because they're eager to regain control of the company, while Flynn's parents take care of his son. The boy is bitter because he thinks his father has abandoned him 20 years later. Flynn's son Sam makes his way through the night streets and reaches the Encom tower where he uses a device to hack the door lock and sneaks inside. Then he makes his way upstairs and he tricks a security camera before running to the room with the main computer. He starts hacking this as well, unaware that he's accidentally set off an alarm and a guard is coming for him. Meanwhile, a board meeting is being held, where the new boss announces their new main product, a secure operating system, that will hit the shelves in a few hours. They'll also be charging for it, which horrifies Alan because it goes against everything his old friend Flynn based this company on. But his protest is ignored at that moment. A video of Sam's dog starts playing on the screen, making the boss unable to access the system when their technician finally gets to check. He realizes that someone has uploaded their software for free on the internet. Sam is very pleased with himself, but he's found by a guard that begins chasing him until they reach the roof, finding himself cornered. Sam jumps as he activates his parachute only to get stuck at a traffic light. After some struggle, he frees his body from the harness and lands on top of a taxi which drives him around until Sam falls by. Then the cops catch up to him to arrest him a few hours later. Sam pays bail and turns home, which is just a shipping container transformed into an apartment. Suddenly Alan shows up and congratulates Sam for his latest trick. Apparently Sam plays a prank on the company every year on the day of his father's disappearance. Then Alan reveals he still has his old pager, because Flynn told him to even sleep with it, and he just got a message coming from Flynn's office above his old arcade shop, which is a number that hasn't been used for 20 years. Sam shows disinterest because he's still angry at his dad, but Alan calls him out for his attitude the night before. Flynn disappeared. He told Alan he had made a huge discovery. Alan thinks Flynn would never disappear like that, and something happened to him, but Sam doesn't believe him and kicks him out before leaving. Alan gives Sam the keys to the arcade shop. Looking at his dog's face makes Sam feel guilty, and he ends up going to the arcade. There's nobody inside, so he decides to try playing some Tron. But when he inserts the coin, it falls right out, causing Sam to notice some weird markings on the floor. He moves the game and discovers a secret doorway that leads him down a passage and into a control room. With a computer, Sam immediately begins using it to search for clues. Unaware his actions have activated a large laser behind him. This laser suddenly emits a ray that digitizes Sam and sends him into the Grid as the floor moves under him. Sam is shocked and overwhelmed by the amazing world he's seeing. So it's easy for the guards to grab him and add him to a line of other captive programs. It seems nobody here can tell he's a human user and not a program. A weirdly shaped vehicle takes the prisoners to see another worker who checks each of them and decides if they'll be de-reezed, meaning killed, or they'll be sent to the games. Thankfully, Sam is chosen for the games, but when another program gets the same fate, the guy runs and self-dereases by using an in-ground fan. Afterwards, Sam is sent to the armory where the sirens remove his clothes and give him new armor, plus an identity disc. A siren called Gem tells Sam to survive before is taken to the gaming Grid where they play Disc Wars. A huge crowd cheers for the players, while the boss watches from his box with the company of his assistant Jarvis. As soon as the first match begins, Sam's attacked by his enemy's disc, which he dodges just in time in the room next to his. He's terrified to see what happens if the disc does hit. Sam has no choice but to use his own disc to fight back, and after a few failed throws, the enemy breaks the floor under Sam. He manages to hold on just in time and climbs back to see the opponent coming for him. so he waits and breaks the floor at the last second, making his enemy fall and winning the fight. Sam's next opponent is quite aggressive, so he slides on the floor to hit him quickly before escaping from his room, which gets Jarvis' attention after jumping around. Sam makes it to the room of the final round and discovers his opponent as Rinsler, who has 2 discs. A fierce fight ensues, during which gravity keeps changing and soon Rinsler overpower Sam. However, when Rinsler sees blood on Sam's armor, he realizes he's a user and makes him face the viewing box above, where the boss asks Sam to identify himself. As soon as Sam says his name, he's taken to the office, where it's revealed the boss is a youthful Flint. Sam can't believe he's seeing his dad again, and Flynn doesn't recognize him at first, which he blames on the passing of time. The man checks Sam's disc, but isn't impressed by the content of his memories, and when Sam asks if they can go home, his request is denied. Now the truth comes out. This isn't Flynn, it's Clue next. Sam is sent to the light cycle arena, where Jarvis riles up the crowd, while a mysterious figure watches from above. Sam is put on a team of programs that will have to battle Clus while riding light cycles, which are made entirely of energy. Unfortunately, Clue's team has a lot of experience, so no matter how fast Sam's team goes one by one, the programs are eliminated with a variety of techniques. Sam is thrown off his cycle, but before he can face Clue hand-to-hand, the figure intervenes with a light runner and takes Sam before fighting a few enemies off. Then they blast a hole in the wall to escape off-grid into the Outlands where other vehicles can't follow.